this is Bunny Girl, or aka Hannah. So, sorry about the half of the live stream. It kind of, let's just say it didn't really go out as much as I planned. And instead of drawing for you guys, I am going to read a couple of creepypastas for you guys, mainly because this channel is mainly about drawing, creepypasta, OCs, My Little Pony, and all of that mixed together. It's one batch of a good old-fashioned 160th birthday cake. Yeah. So I am going to find a good old-fashioned creepypasta, or if you can, or you guys can, you can put a creepypasta thing on down in the comments below, so I can go, or you guys can get it down in the comments below. Either way, you can do it. It's fine. So yeah. No. Nah. Sorry if you can hear that. That's my typing. So yeah. Huh. Okay. No. No, no. No. I wonder if they have this one. Sorry guys, I am trying to find a good creepypasta right now. And for some reason I cannot find one right now. Which totally sucks. So ooh, let's read Candle Co, shall we? Anyway, so I'm gonna read the Candle Co creepypasta. They have it here. Sorry, no. Sorry, I'm on the official creepypasta website, and I'm trying to find the first Candle Co creepypasta. That was my favorite. Oh, there it is. Excuse me. Does anyone remember this kid show? It was called Cove, and I must have been 6 or 7. I never found reference to it anywhere, so I think it was on a local station around 1971 and 1972. I lived at Ireton at the time. I don't remember what station, but I do remember it at a weird time, like 4 p.m. It really seemed familiar to me. I grew up outside of Ashton and 9 years old at 72. Cove. Was it about pirates? I remember a pirate marionette at the mouth of the cave talking to a little girl. Yes! Okay, I'm not crazy. I remember Pirate Percy. I was always kind of scared of him. He looked like he was built of parts from other dolls, real low budget. His head was a porcelain baby doll, kind of like the antique didn't belong on the body. I don't remember what station it was. I don't think it was WTSF though. Sorry to recruit this whole thread, but I remember what he said. Sorry to recruit this old thread, but I know exactly what he means, Guy Shell. I think Cove ran for a couple of months in 71, not 72. I watched it a few times with my brother. It was channel 58, whatever station that was. My mom would always let me switch it after the news. So let me see what I remember. It took place in Cove. It was about a little girl who imagined herself to be friends with pirates. This pirate ship was called the Laughingstock. Pirate Percy was a very good pirate because he got scared so easily. There's a Calliope music constantly playing. I don't remember the girl's name. Janice, say Jade or something. I think it was Janice. Thank you, Jared. Memory flooded back when you mentioned the Laughingstock and the Channel 58. I remember the battle of the ship with the wind-smiling face where the lower jaw submerged. It looked like a swallowing sea that had a bad Edwin voice and laugh. I especially remember how jarring it was when they switched to the old plastic model to the foam puppet version the head that talked. I remember now too. Do you remember this part, Sky Show? You have to go inside. Mike, I got a chill reading that. Oh, yes, I do remember. That was the ship that always Percy when there was a spooky place he had to go in, like a cave or a dark room the treasure was. And the camera would push it on Laughingstock's face with each pause. You have to go inside. With this two eyes askew, and that flaming faux jaw, and this fisherman that opened the mouth closed. Ugh! It just looks so cheap and awful. Do you guys remember the villain? He had that face with a handlebar mustache, really above with nearly narrow, tall teeth. Okay, that's the Candle Cove thing I found. That's all I found. That's it. So, yeah, sorry. Anyways, let's see. Let's see. Back. Okay, so blah 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 blah. Ooh, wait. Do. Okay, I found it. Sorry, guys. I'll reread it. Excuse me. Back to the Cove. I honestly thought that the villain was Pirate Percy. I was about 5 when the show was on. Nightmare Fuel. That wasn't a villain. The puppet with the mustache? That was the villain's sidekick. Horace Horrible. He had a monologue too. But it was the top of the mustache. I used to think that he only had one eye. But yeah, the villain was a marionette, the skin taker. I can't. I can't believe what they let us watch as back then. Jesus H. Christ. Skin Taker? What kind of kid show have we been watching? I seriously could not look at the screen without the Skin Taker showed up. He just looked his hand and I don't know over his brains. Just a dirty skeleton with wearing that top hat and cape. When his glassy eyes were too big for his skull. Christ almighty. Wasn't his top hat and cloak sewn up all crazily? Was that supposed to be children's skin? Yeah, I think so. So, remember when his mouth didn't open or close? It just slid back and forth? I remember the little girl. Why do you move? Why did your mouth move like that? The skin taker did not look at the girl, but looked at the camera and said, "To grind your skin." I am so relieved that people remember this terrible show. I used to have this awful memory, a bad dream, where the opening jingle ended and the show faded in from black. All the characters were there. The camera was cutting to each of their faces and they were just screaming. And the puppets and marionettes were flailing spastically. And they were just screaming. Screaming. The girl was just moaning and crying as if she'd been through hours of this. I woke up many times from that nightmare. I used to wet the bed when I had it. I don't think that was a dream. I remember that. I remember that's an episode. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Not impossible. There was no plot or anything. I mean, literally, just standing in place, crying and screaming for the whole show. Maybe I'm manufacturing the memory you just said that, but I swear to God, I, I remember seeing what you described. You just screamed. Oh my God, yes. The little girl Janice, remember seeing her shake. And his skin taken screaming through his ghastly teeth. And his jaw clearly so wildly, I thought it would cut off his wire hinges. I turned it off, and it was the last time I watched. I ran to tell my brother that we didn't have the courage to turn it back on. I visited my mom in a nursing home. I asked I asked her about when I was little in the early 70s, when I was 8 or 9, if she remembered the show Candle Cove. She said she was surprised I could remember that, and I asked why. She said, because I used to think it was so strange that you said that. That you said, "I'm gonna go watch Candle Cove now, Mom." And you would tune the TV and decide to go watch dead air for 30 minutes. You used to have a big imagination with your pirate show. Okay, so that's the whole full of... What's this? Oh, it's just pictures of Jeff the Killer. I just found. Oh God. Anyways, um that's the Kaneko creepypasta. I really like this story actually. It's not really a bad one. It's just a really good story. I like how it just goes from the good side to a little bit of a darker side about it. Anyways, let's see. Okay, so let's continue with another creepypasta since who does not like creepypasta? Who does not? No one. Anyways, I'm trying to see. Oh, it's already down here, isn't it? It's really gonna take me forever. Okay, so I'm going to read. I'm gonna read Survival Guide because I feel like this one's my favorite. This one's my favorite too. Actually, we're gonna read a couple of my favorites, a couple of my dislikes. Okay? Okay. So Survival Guide. If it loads. We've all been there. You just gone to a certain place at a certain time on a certain date. Done a special thing, and the thing you expected would happen just happened. Not to mention you just see whatever hell it is that's living in your mirror. Been told in detail how you're going to die. That highly demonic and invisible thing you have summoned is heading towards you. Also, your family is dead. Your friends are all missing, and you're going to be framed by someone who has access to your bedroom. What the hell do you do now, sweet protagonist? Will you come to my face to find out? These are the simple rules one must follow to firstly not become a victim of creepypasta and furthermore to come out kicking if the world does happen. With the help of this guide, you too become a catatonic traumatized wreck as opposed to the dude who roams around a lot as a code who roams a lot. Just keep these simple rules in mind. Number 1. Mirrors and darkness don't mix. Number 2. Actually, no. Actually, mirrors are actually a general no in a creepypasta world, but there's nothing more sinister. Number 3. There is zero chance of survival if you look at the thing that no one else can see or answer its question. It's very weird question incorrectly. Number 4. If you're alone at night at a creepy mental institution, take some time to consider what the hell are you doing there. Then, if it's appropriate to do so, leave. Number 5. Avoid going to places where everyone else has never came back or died inexplicably. Number 6. If someone stops your vehicle at night and asks to come with you, it would probably be in your best interest to politely decline. Number 7. Killing is the last method of survival. Listen sparingly, but without fear. Number 8. Who was the phone? Is always a good thing to ponder. Also, who the hell answers the phone while kissing a dead person's sexy daughter? A douche. That too. Number 9. Get a simple dirty revolver and load it with 2 silver bullets. If you feel there's no chance of coming out of a situation, take one shot, as whatever's threatening you. If it doesn't work, you still have the last shot to become a hero with. Number 10. Area 51 is simply real too low guarded to get you in, or to let any alien out. Number 11. When going to a hotel, try to steer clear of unauthorized areas. But you couldn't resist, but you saw a red thing. Take some time to consider the price range in a hotel center on your next visit. Have you ever stayed in a haunted Hilton? Number 12. When booking your hotel stay, TripAdvisor could be an unwise tool when deeming your whether your choice could be a scene of multiple murder, full of dead people, built in the mouth of hell. Also, local newspapers can be helpful. Number 13. When invoking demons, spoken weird languages, and performing any rituals of any kind are considered dangerous. Refrain from doing that, and especially around abandoned warehouses, churches, psychiatric I can't talk today, guys. I'm so sorry. Psychiatric institutions, forests, in your house, in front of a mirror, at night. Number 14. When we're going to a new area, environmental understanding is the key to survival. Ask around for cursed places, legends, dangers, and other details. Listen to local people's advice, and don't be afraid if you ask if you're unsure of which attacks or disappearances are normal and which aren't. Number 15. Always have a Bible next to your bed. Provides average reading material, proves a belief, and a really heavy object to throw to your enemies. Number 16. Do not call out holy water. Get a sturdy vial of sulfuric acid and let the priest consecrate it. Number 17. Japanese priests cleanse spirit by waving katana swords around. Their ritual is 100% effective on corporal forms. Number 18. If you find 666 messages on your phone, mailbox, or email, or etc., Consider saving yourself a service provider. Also, do not listening or reading the messages. It's spam. As strict imaginable will possibly spam nonetheless. Number 19. All pharmaceutical companies can't help you unless you specifically need, quote, blood of the innocent, snake oil, and radioactive syrup, which is never. Number 20. If you need to sign it in blood, you do not need to sign it. All mainstream governing bodies will accept a contract signed in ink. Bear this in mind if offering deals are seen too good to be true. Number 21. Lighthouses are dangerous. Avoid them at all costs. If you work at a lighthouse, then consider your career in insurance sales or veterinary care. Number 22. There is simply no reason to listen to music that causes suicidal tendencies, or which feels that has any strange or disastrous consequences. Number 23. If you plan to go on ahead to save some money, buy your auntie and uncle a house in Bel Air. Nothing can harm you, no matter how scary your mother is. Number 24. Secrets seclude untouched places in old buildings that are left untouched for a reason. Pioneers never say die, but in the fact they're usually high in mortality rate. Number 25. Before swimming in ice-cold waters and working in the center of a dark forest at midnight, ask yourself, do you really want to travel an ancient and terrifying city? If the answer was no, then stay home instead and watch whatever quality program is available on Cinemax. Number 26. On your 33rd birthday, try celebrating the Rolla House in the company of others. Number 27. Refrain from one true name of anything and there's a specific reason why giving it a nick. Number 28. Number 28. Watch TV static for long periods of time may be hazardous to your health. Try satellite TV to combat this problem. 29. Get a cat. Those furry little hairballs are pursued unnatural phenomenon better than us. And if desperate, just simply throw that whatever gets about to get you. Number 30. Cemeteries are bad places, especially on foggy conditions and on Halloween. Number 31. Try not to close your eyes. Ever. If you must, do so only briefly. Number 32. If you hear chanting, run until you're out of earshot. Rule number 3. If you're too old to play with dolls, you do not be near one of those creepy little devils. Number 14. Legends are often insight whenever you go to camping with your friends. Number 15. When babysitting, a certified family's tastes and preferences to avoid being killed by poorly selected statues. Number 36. Even if you're certain that running will not save you, it's always best to try. Follow these simple rules or little or massive harm will befall you. Either way, the important thing is to make sure your tale is told, copied, and pasted repeatedly. Okay, that was the Bible guide. I really like this creepypasta a lot. Mainly because it's just really good, in my opinion, and I just like it. Anyways, now let's go look for another creepypasta. Okay. Okay, so there, I think. Sorry guys, I'm looking for a new creepypasta. Anyways, any type of creepypasta is always good for me. Hmm. 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 So let's read, um, excuse me, topic. How about we read, last episodes? Let's read last episodes, shall we? Okay. Um, let's read Squidward's suicide. Shall we? Okay. Squidward's suicide, is actually one of my favorite crepe pastas. A story is so good, in my opinion. So, let's just read it, actually. I just want to start off by saying, if you want to answer at the end, prepare to be disappointed. There just isn't one. I was an intern at Nickelodeon Studios for a year in 2005 for my degree in animation. It wasn't paid, of course, but most internships aren't. And it doesn't have perks beyond education. To adults, it may not seem like a big one, but most kids at the time go crazy over it. Now, since I worked directly with the editors and animators, I got to view the new episodes days before they aired. I'll get right to it without giving too much unnecessary details. They very recently made a SpongeBob movie, and the entire staff was somewhat sapped to creativity, so it took them longer to start up the season. But the delay lasted longer for more upsetting reasons. There was a problem with the series board premiere that set everyone and everything back for several months. Me and two other interns were in the editing room, along with the lead editors and sound editors for the final cut. We received a copy that was supposed to be Vader the Krabby Patty, and gathered around the screen to watch. Now, given this isn't final yet, animators put up a mock title card, sort of an inside joke for us, with funny, oftentimes lewd titles such as "How Sex Doesn't Work" instead of "Rockabye Bye Val" when SpongeBob and Patrick dollop sea scallop. Nothing particularly funny, but work-related chuckles. So since we saw the title card, Squidward's suicide, we didn't think of more than a morbid joke. One of the interns did a small throat laugh at it. The happy-go-lucky music plays as normal. The story begins with Squidward practicing his clarinet, hitting his sour notes like normal. We hear SpongeBob laughing outside, and Squidward stops, yelling at him to keep it down, as he has a concert that night and needs to go practice. SpongeBob says okay and goes to see Sandy with Patrick. The Bubble Splash screen comes up and we see the ending of Squidward's concert. This is when things begin to seem off. While playing, a few frames repeat themselves, but the sound doesn't. At this point, the sound was synced up with animation, so yeah, that's not common, but when he stops playing, the sound finishes as the skip never happened. There was slight murmuring in the crowd before they all get to boo him. Not normal cartoon booing that's common in a show, but you can clearly hear the malice in it. Squidward's in full frame and looks visibly afraid. The shot goes to the crowd with SpongeBob in center frame, and he's too booing, very much unlike him. That isn't how his thing, however. What is odd is that everybody had hyper-realistic eyes, very detailed. Clearly not shots of real people's eyes, but some of them are more real than CGI. The people's are red. Some of us looked at each other, obviously confused, but since we're the writers, we didn't question it was real to children. Yet. The shot goes to Squidward sitting on the edge of his bed, looking very forlorn. The view out of his porthole window was of a night sky, so it wasn't very long after the concert. The most unsettling part, there was no sound. Literally no sound. Not even feedback from the speakers in the room. Except the speakers were turned off, though their status showed them working perfectly. He just sat there, blinking, and in silence for about 30 seconds. Then he started to sob softly. He put his tentacles over his eyes and cried quietly for a full minute or more. All in a while, a sound in the background slowly going from nothing to barely audible. It sounded like a slight breeze through a forest. Scrooge slowly begins to zoom in on his face. It's only noticeable if you look at shots 10 seconds apart side by side. His sobbing gets louder, more full of hurt and anger. The screen then twitches a bit as it twits on itself for a split second and back to normal. The wind through the trees sound slowly gets louder and more severe, as if the storm was brewing somewhere. The eerie part of the sound and Squidward's sobbing sounded real, as if the sound wasn't coming from the speakers, though, as if the speakers were holes and the sound was coming through from the other side. As if as good as the studio likes to have, they don't purchase the equipment to be that good in pursuit of that quality. Blood on the wind and sobbing, very faint. Something sounded like laughter. It came in odd intervals and never lasted more than a second, so you had a hard time pinning it. We watched the show twice, so pardon me if things sound too specific, but I had the time to think about them. After 30 seconds of this, the screen blurred and twitched violently as something flashed over the screen, as if sequel frames was placed. The lead animation editor paused the rerun frame by frame. What we saw was horrible. It was a still photo of a dead child. He could have been more than 6. The face was mangled, bloodied, one eye dangling over his upturned face popped. He was naked down to his underwear, his stomach cruelly cut open, and his entrails laying beside him. He was just laying on some pavement that was probably a road. The most upsetting part is that there was a shadow photographer. No crime tape, no evidence tape, evidence tags or markers. The angle was completely off for a shot designed to be evidence. It would seem like the photographer was the person responsible for a child's death, but we were of course mortified but pressed on, hoping that it's just a sick joke. The screen flipped back to Squidward still sobbing louder than before, then half body and frame. Now there was now what appeared to be blood running down his face from his eyes. The blood was also done in a hyper-realistic style, like as if you touched it, you get blood on your fingers. The wind sounded as if there was a gale blowing through the forest. There was even sounds of branches, the laughing, a deep baritone, lasting longer, more evils, and coming more frequently. After 20 seconds, the screen again twitched violently as something flashed and showed a single frame photo. The editor was reluctant to go back, we all were, but he knew what he had to do. This time, the photo was what appeared to be a little girl. She was no older than the first child. She was laying on her stomach, her breasts in a pool of blood next to her. Her left eye was too popped out and popped, naked except her underpants. Her entrails were just laying upon top of her with another cruel cut on her back. Again, the body was on the street, and the photographer's shadow was visible. very similar in size and shape to the first. I had to choke back vomit, and one intern, the only female in the room, ran out. Oh, the show resumed. After 5 seconds of the second photo played, Scriven went silent, as it did all sound. He put his tentacles down, and his eyes were not done in hyperrealism like the others were at the beginning of the episode. They were bleeding, bloodshot, and pulsating. He just stared at his screen as if watching a viewer. But after about 10 seconds, he started sobbing, this time not covering his eyes. The sound was piercing and loud, and most piercing of all, his sobbing was mixed with screams. Tears and blood were dripping down his face at a heavy rate. The wind sound came back, so did the deep voiced laughter. And this time, this photo lasted for a good 5 frames. The editor was able to stop on the fourth and backed up. The photo was of a boy, about the same age, but the time we see was different. The entrails were just being pulled out by his stomach wound by a large hand, and the red eye popped and dangling blood trickling down at it. The animator proceeded. It was so hard to believe, but the next one was different, and we couldn't tell what. He went on the next, the same thing. He went back to first and playing quicker, and I lost it. I vomited on the floor, and the animators and senators cast at the screen. The 5 frames were not as if there were 5 different photos. They were played out as if they were frames from a video. We saw the hand slowly lift out the guts. We saw the kid's focused eyes on it. We even saw 2 frames of the kid beginning to blink. The lead editor told us to stop. He had to call in the creator to see this. Mr. Hillenberg arrived in about 15 minutes. He was so confused as to why he called him down here, but the editor just continued the episode. Once a few frames were all shown, all screaming and all sound again stopped. Squidward was just staring at the viewer, full frame in the face for about 3 seconds. A shot quickly panned out, and the deep voice said, "Do it." As he sees Squidward's hands, a shotgun, he immediately puts a gun in his mouth and pulls the trigger. Realistic blood and brain matter splatters the wall across behind him, and on his bed, and he flies back with the force. The last 5 seconds of this episode showed his body on the bed. On his side, one eye dangling was left above his head above the floor, staring blankly at it, and the episode ends. Mr. Hillenberg was obviously angry at this. He wanted to know what the heck was going on. Many people left the room, and at this point it was just a handful of us to watch it again. Viewing the episode twice only inserted parody in my mind, and it caused me horrible nightmares. I'm so sorry I stayed. The only theory we could think is that the only theory that we could think of is that the file was edited by someone from the chain from the drawing studio to here. The CTO was called to analyze what had happened. The analysis of the file showed it did show over by new material, however. The timestamp of it the the timestamp of it was mere 24 seconds before we began viewing it. All equipment involved with all examination of the software and hardware as well as glitches. As if the timestamp may have glitched and showed the wrong time, but everything checked out fine. We don't know to this day, and nobody does. There was investigation into the nature of the photos, but nothing came out of it. No child scene was identified, and no clues were gathered from the data involved near the physical clues in the photos. I never believed in unexplainable phenomenon before. Now I have something happen and can't prove anything about ethical evidence. I think twice about things. Wow, okay, that was Squidward's suicide. That's another one of my favorite creepypastas. Um, I really like the creepypasta. I think it's a really good one. It's a little creepy, like the beginning it looks really fine, but once you get reading into it, it just looks so bad. It's just really bad. Sorry guys, I'm typing. So, yeah. I really don't know if I should continue more with the creepypastas because now I'm getting like really scared about it. And mostly I don't get scared by creepypastas a whole lot. But now I kinda am scared. I'm sorry to say, but I'm really scared of creepypasta right now. And especially reading Squidward Suicide. That creepypasta actually scarred me because I read SpongeBob SquarePants. I actually watched SpongeBob when I was a kid. And now it just it's just scary. But anyways, I am gonna go. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. I'm sorry if it's a little off because I was gonna show you the drawings and all that, but I could not do it because for some reason it's not really working right now. This Hangout thing is not really working right now, so I might try to find another way to do this. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream, and I'll practically have to go, and I'll see you guys later in the next video. B to the B to the N to, oh my god, to the BONNYGILR. Oh my god, I can't type. This is Buddy out.